I'm Lindsey Goffredo Hughes. I'm one of the primary care doctors downstairs. And February is Women's Health and Women's Heart Health Awareness Month. This is a talk written by the American Heart Association, and we'll talk a lot about the Red Dress campaign and things that you may know about heart health, things you don't know about heart health, what to watch out for, and how we can kind of modify your lifestyle to make sure you're on the right track. At any time, feel free to stop me. It's really informal. In your little orange bags are little packets. The talk doesn't specifically touch on every single topic, but it goes through and tells you about what your cholesterol should be, what your blood pressure should be, things to watch for as far as diet and statistics, that kind of thing. Something to read, look over, and keep in your mind. Any questions before we start? All right. Okay, so like I said, this is a national campaign. It's called The Heart Truth, and really it's to talk to women ages 40 to 60, kind of that middle age range group, to make sure they're aware that their heart is important, that it's not a man's disease, and that more women are affected by this than we think. This is sponsored by the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, the National Institutes of Health, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Like I said before, the national campaign is called the Red Dress Campaign. There are little pins. We've got a lot of actors, celebrities who kind of join the cause to help get it out there that women need to be aware of this. Today we're going to talk about what we need to know about heart disease, what it actually is, what your risk factors are, how to talk to your doctor, what questions to bring with you, things to think about at home before you go, what you can do now to protect yourself. If you didn't live the greatest, you don't have the greatest diet, you don't exercise, and you don't want to change, what are some warning signs? Heart attack warning signs, and things you can do to actually survive a heart attack. And maybe today's a wake-up call. Maybe we look at today and say, now what can I do to get myself healthy? And then there'll be some resources at the end, web links, and there's also links in your packet as well. So heart disease, believe it or not, is the #1 killer in women. It kills more women than all forms of cancer combined. So how many of you know someone with breast cancer, lung cancer, a woman who's suffering right now, undergoing chemo? Double that, and more women actually are dying of heart disease, which is crazy because I think of more people that have cancer than I think of heart disease. Heart disease can permanently damage your heart and truly affect your life. If it's not treated, serious complications and lifelong issues can develop. Most women don't know that heart disease is their own greatest heart risk, or health risk, I should say. They're a smoker, they are on hormone replacement. Your heart health is at risk with all of these things. It's preventable. We'll talk about a huge list of things that we can do today to get you back on the right track. It's a problem that we can talk about now, that we can fix now, because if we wait too long, it's going to be too late. There are a lot of different forms of heart disease. There's heart disease that you're born with, there are genetic issues, there's heart malformations. Coronary artery disease is the most common form, and that's the form that comes as a result of lifestyle, sometimes as a result of genetics, and it develops over years. So it's not something that you eat a hamburger today and you're going to clog your arteries and be done tomorrow. It's, what you've been doing for the past 15, 20 years. So the thing that's important about today is go home, talk to your daughters, talk to your granddaughters, and make sure they're leading a healthy life as well. So this is a schematic of what atherosclerosis looks like. Atherosclerosis is a buildup of plaque in your arteries, and it limits how much blood can flow through, limits how much blood can get out to your other organs, how much oxygen's getting to your brain, to your kidneys, and to all your other major organs. And subsequently, when you have numerous amounts of plaques or large plaques, heart attacks occur because these plaques are blocking blood flow back into the heart and through the heart. So lack of blood flow to the heart causes muscle to die, and that's what causes a heart attack. ERs, cardiologists want to stress the importance of when you find that you're having signs, symptoms, issues that are saying, hey, we're having a heart attack here, get to the ER as quickly as possible, because time is muscle. The quicker you get in, the quicker they can get you into the cath lab, the more heart muscle we can save. So there's no quick fix to heart disease. You can go in, you can put a stent in, you can have surgery, but you're never back to normal. So the best way to have a healthy heart is to not have a heart attack in the first place. It can be prevented, and we can control if you have high blood pressure, you have high cholesterol now, we can control it now and put you on a better road. And prevention is our biggest key. And like I said before, we're focusing on young women, and we need the moms, we need the grandmothers, the sisters, the aunts to get out there and help spread the word, you know, lead by example. Because we're also the moms that, you know, put ourselves on the back burner, you know, the caretakers of elderly parents, of neighbors, who we're just not that important. But if we don't take care of ourselves and keep our health going, then who's going to be there to take care of who we're taking care of now? So risk rises at age 40 to 60. That's when we're hitting menopause. Estrogen levels are decreasing. Estrogen's thought to be heart protective. So as that goes down, we kind of lose that extra protection that we had as young women. And many women will develop one or more risk factors for heart disease during these years. You go through menopause, you start to gain a little weight. Maybe you fall back on some habits that you had before, pick up the cigarette again, you know, kids are out of the house, what am I gonna do, kind of thing. So we need to take action against our risk factors because it's not too late. Any questions at all? Okay. So here are some things that we can control. Smoking. If you're doing it, quit it. There's a paper in your thing that tells you how much a pack of cigarettes costs. I think it's probably less than what an actual pack of cigarettes costs. I think they're probably around $5, $6 a pack. And I would say out of every 5 people that I asked, you know, do you want to start Chantix? Do you want to quit smoking? They're like, oh, the medication's too expensive. I'm like, all right, add up how much you're paying a month for cigarettes, and I bet you the Chantix is less than that. Smoking is a cumulative risk. So the longer you smoke, the worse it is. But we can stop, and we can try and regain some of that strength. High blood pressure, another thing, we can medicate, change diet, lose weight. High cholesterol, high triglycerides, again, medication, diet change. Overweight, obesity, especially as menopause hits, your metabolism slows down. Physical inactivity, sometimes due to age, due to weather, due to where you live, and just tired. Diabetes, pre-diabetes, And metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is a kind of a combination of a couple of these things on the board. It's high blood pressure, high cholesterol, having that truncal obesity, so some extra weight along the middle, and elevated morning sugars, glucose intolerance. So not quite diabetes, but getting there. So things we can't control, obviously our age, family history of early heart disease. Did your mother, did your father or grandparents die before the age of 50 from heart disease? A massive heart attack, you know, early on in the late 40s, early 50s. And during pregnancy, history of preeclampsia, which would be high blood pressure, elevated liver enzymes during pregnancy, which would likely have caused you to be induced. Other risk factors are sleep apnea, where you stop breathing in the middle of the night, you snore, it's apneic episodes, you stop breathing, it's a loss of oxygen in the middle of the night, which will then elevate your blood pressure and elevate your risk factors. Stress, depression, not only cause mental anxiety, mental angst, but physical issues as well. Pains and stress on your heart. Drinking too much alcohol, birth control pills, and this is particularly of interest in women over 35 and who also smoke. So the combination increases your risk of heart disease as well as blood clots to the lungs, pulmonary embolism. Anemia, low iron, low hemoglobin, and not having a healthy diet. This is crazy to me. One risk factor, so just having high blood pressure doubles your risk for having heart disease. Add on high cholesterol, your risk factors quadruple. Add on prediabetes or diabetes, and you almost have a 10-fold risk of heart disease. It's mind-boggling. I mean, how many people do you know have high blood pressure, diabetes, and their cholesterol is a little high? They're a ticking time bomb. But I don't want to say it's an easy fix, but it's a doable fix. Eating right, getting a little extra exercise, not smoking, and trying to maintain a healthy weight for your body size and your height can lower your risk by as much as 82%, which is a decent number. So now's the time. You have the information. You know your own risk factors. Time to sit down, make a list of questions, make an appointment with your doctor. I know I make lists before I go in, because you get in and you're like, I'm going to remember everything, and you get in and you see what your blood pressure was, and everything just goes out the window. Or you have to step on the scale and you're like, never mind, I forget what I was going to say. And they'll be willing to sit with you and go over your risk factors, go over what's going to happen, what medications you need to try, what kind of things in your diet you should change, add, subtract. Add a couple extra minutes of exercise a day. So things you're going to look at in this visit. What's your blood pressure? You get some fasting labs. I'm going to check your cholesterol. You look for your HDL, is your good cholesterol. For women, we'd like to see that over 45. For men, over 40, but this is about women, so we don't care about the men. Your bad cholesterol, if you don't have diabetes and you don't have a ton of other risk factors, we'd like to see it under 130, under 100 would be better. And your triglycerides, we'd like to see them under 150. Your whole total cholesterol, we'd like to see it under 200, under 150 would be better. We're also going to check your sugar. Fasting sugar, we'd like to see that under 95, technically under 100. body mass index, that'll go by your height, your weight, and what your waist circumference would be, so your middle circumference. Get an EKG. It's always good to have a baseline EKG to see what you're doing today. So if you do end up having, you know, a twinge of chest pain or some shortness of breath with activity, you can go in and we can see there's a definite change from the last time you were here. And depending on what all of these things look like together, we may send you to a cardiologist and get a baseline stress test. So knowing all this now, or maybe not knowing all this, why don't women take heart disease seriously? Because for years, it was just thought of as a man's disease. We're busy. We're moms, we work, we're caretakers, we're daughters. We've got a lot of things to do, and our health just isn't top on the list. But like I said before, if we can't keep ourselves healthy, if we can't find the time to put us a little higher on the list to make sure we're healthy for everyone else, there's not going to be someone there to do what we have been doing. We think we're not old enough to have risk factors. And really, you know, 35, 40, hitting menopause time, it's start time to look. And if you aren't old enough, speak out. Help people that are. You know what's going on now. We know what we need to do and how we can help other people change as well. We're busy, we're stressed, and we're tired. So we need to know that we are top priority, our health is a top priority, so we can continue our lives. We want to take care of ourselves so that we can continue to take care of our loved ones. Healthy lifestyle changes don't have to take up a huge amount of time. And that's a big thing I try and stress when I'm having a lifestyle modification talk with my patients. I don't like the word diet because when you diet, you severely limit things in your diet. You cut things out. So I'm not saying cut things out, I'm saying do it in moderation. Do it with something that you can live with. A little change could go a long way. You know, bake, broil, grill, no frying, no oils, you know, watch your salt. It's little things that you can do. You know, still have that chocolate every once in a while, still go for that burger every once in a while, but maybe not every week, maybe not every 2 weeks. Things that you can live with. You know, if you don't have a huge exercise thing, walk around the block. Increase your time. Give yourself a couple minutes of exercise, but don't be crazy. Don't think you're going to be starting a marathon if you're doing nothing right now. So do what can fit in your lifestyle, just do it a little differently. And it's stuff that we can do today. You know, we can go home and look at labels. That's a huge thing that people don't do. You're such in a rush in the grocery store, you're in a hurry, you throw things in the cart, you know, you come home late, throw something in the microwave, but I bet you the sodium content in whatever you just threw in the microwave was gigantic. So look at things like sodium, look at carbs, look at calories. It takes a little extra time, but in the end, it may change your waist size. You know, it may change your blood pressure. If you're, you know, continually popping in a can of soup or, you know, anything that's processed or, you know, those ready meals that are so nice and convenient are probably the worst thing for you. So it's just little things that probably are going to add a couple extra minutes to your daily routine, but are probably going to add a couple extra years to your life. If you're a smoker, stop it. Ask for help. Chantix, the gums, the patches, they're helpful. In the short term, it may seem like it's adding some money to your week, but if you add up what a pack of cigarette costs a day, if you're a pack a day smoker, in a week, that's probably $40 in a week, and multiply that in a month, and it's a lot. Be physically active, 2 hours and 30 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity each week. So that's ideal, yes, and that would be what we'd want. But if you're doing nowhere near that, just starting it is better than nothing. Work your way up slowly. Add strength training, 5 pounds, dumbbells. Those cans of soup that you're not going to be cooking now can be used as your weight. So we're going to be looking at the sides of the boxes. Healthy eating plan is doable as well. So we're looking for things low in saturated fat, low in trans fat, cholesterol, and you want a low fat total to begin with. So you're going to limit your salt, limit your sodium, all the canned foods, the pre-prepared meals filled with sodium to help it stay longer. Limit alcoholic beverages to no more than 1 a day. A glass of wine, not so bad. I'm talking a small glass, not a water glass. And notice it says limit. It doesn't say take it away. Don't eat, a French fry every once in a while. Just don't stop at Wendy's every day. Add in the whole grains, the fruits, the vegetables, the berries, the things high in antioxidants. Fish, poultry, and lean cuts of meat. Try and limit the amount of red meat that we have, hamburgers, steaks, that kind of thing. And as far as dairy goes, non-fat milks, non-fat cheeses, yogurts, the Greek yogurts, huge in protein. So great, calorie-wise, a low source of fat, a high source of protein will fill you up faster. And all of these will hopefully help you maintain a healthy weight. If you have risk factors, you're diabetic, have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, these are things we can manage. So we're going to take medication if it's prescribed. Hopefully we can lose a couple pounds or monitor what we're eating and begin to be able to back down on medications if necessary. If, God forbid, you've been living the fast food life, or, you're a healthy eater and you're just blessed with bad genetics, and you have the symptoms of a heart attack, you're not going to drive yourself to the hospital. You're not going to ask your husband or your neighbor to drive you. You're going to call 911. The EMTs, the paramedics, will have things that they can be doing in the ambulance on your way there to help get you there faster and save some heart muscle on the way. Signs and symptoms of a heart attack are different in a female than we would think of for a guy. So for a guy, you're thinking crushing chest pain, shortness of breath, it's going down their arm, it's up their jaw. In a woman, it may be as subtle as you're a little nauseous, you're a little tired today, and you just don't feel yourself. Women do get the typical chest pain, you can get the pressure, the discomfort, the shortness of breath, but it's not a slam dunk like it is in guys. You have to know your body, know how you feel. Things like shortness of breath, muscle aches, those are all things that, yes, it could be the flu, but it could be something else. Unexplained fatigue, nausea, vomiting, lightheaded, dizziness, a combination of these should set your mind in a little bit of a, maybe something's going on here. Learn the warning signs, know when to call 911, and the emergency people should be able to coach you through things on the phone as well as get there fairly quickly. And the biggest thing is, if you're not sure, go get checked. I can't tell you how many people I've admitted for a 24-hour observation, and we send home and it was indigestion, or it was, they pulled a muscle in their chest. But then there are those other women who came in there just tired, and they've got 3 stents. And now they're on their way to recovery. You just don't know. And I would rather be sent home and had a full workup and know nothing's wrong with my heart than end up not having much heart muscle left. So as uncertain as it is, as embarrassed as you may feel going and it's just nothing, I'd rather be safe than sorry. And a big thing to do would be to plan ahead with family, with your primary care doctor. Where are you going to go? What hospital do you want to go to? Do you have a cardiologist? Things to think about. This is about prevention. It starts here tonight, starts with you, starts with who are you going to talk to about this. It's one step at a time. I don't expect you to go home, raid your cabinets, toss out everything that's got a sodium content more than 10 milligrams. It's got to be little things. You know, maybe you go for walks now, add an extra 5 minutes. Little things like that. Don't eat out as often. Cook at home. Add a vegetable. And start looking at your habits and maybe replace a couple with some new healthier ones. It's not going to be a quick fix. It's going to be a lifestyle change, a modification to how we are living. And be realistic. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. It's got to be something that you're going to be able to live with. So doing little changes will be more realistic than going gung-ho and then stopping in 2 weeks. Find a buddy, you know, have a walking buddy, have a shopping buddy, grocery shopping, someone to look at the labels with, and don't worry about slipping up. Everybody needs a Frosty every once in a while. That's okay, but get back on track. Maybe you have an extra salad. Reward your success. Maybe you lose a couple pounds, go buy some new clothes. And you're going to be your own advocate. Ask questions in the community, get involved in the community, talk with your doctor, nurses. These are a couple of resources. I believe they're in your packets as well. The hearttruth.gov is a great one. It goes through things in easy to think about language. And all of these, womenheart.org, they're wonderful. They go through things, you know, questions that you want to ask, answers that you want to get. So it's up to you guys, and we can start today. Thank you very much for coming.